Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome to this week's Yin Yoga Online. We're going to do a practice at the wall today. Apollo here is really hot. It's absolutely roasting outside, a bit cooler in here. So let's do a nice gentle practice against the wall. Now, if you haven't got wall space, a cupboard will do just as well. Something that you can rest your legs against, something that you can rest your feet against. So let's begin with legs up the wall. You can use a cushion as well, or a block, a yoga block, or you can use a bolster for resting the lower back on, resting the pelvis on, I should say. So first of all, shimmy up against the wall and get as close as possible to the wall, and then turn round and lie down, and then caterpillar the bottom so that it's touching the wall. Now I'm going to place this thin cushion under my head, and I'm going to get a yoga block. I'm going to put my feet on the wall, lift the pelvis, place the block under the pelvis. But see how that feels for you, because that will give you a little back bend. If that's not comfortable for you, then you don't need props to prop the pelvis. And then let's just rest the legs, the heels, backs of heels against the wall, and feel here supported by the earth. So your back and the back of the head supported by the earth, the back of the pelvis, and then the legs and the backs of the heels supported by the wall. And we're going to be here for some time. I'm trying to feel about for my little timers. Quite often in yoga, we rely on or use gravity for support. But by using the wall, we can use the wall, we can feel that support the wall's giving us. And if we feel into that support, it can make us feel more secure, more stable. And that will allow us to let go a little bit more. So be aware that the back body is supported by the floor. I'm just going to move this block because as I'm shifting into my edge, well, my edge has changed, so I'm going to move that. So yes, the floor is fully supporting the back body, and you can feel that sense of stability the wall is giving you. So you can allow your legs to let go. Now the hands, you can place the hands on the body or at the side. Play about with that. See what's comfortable for you today. And let's just rest here now in silence before I bring you back. See if you can let go a little bit more. And then begin to bring your awareness back. Maybe wiggle through the toes, circle through the ankles, knees and hips. Change direction. And then if you stay where you are, I'm going to come sideways onto my cupboard so that you can see what I'm doing sideways. I want to move that out of the way. So from there, from legs up the wall, I've got my legs up the cupboard, yes, you can see. Begin to slide the feet down, bending the knees, and bringing the soles of feet together at a height that's comfortable for you. Or if your feet don't come together, that's fine. You can have a space between them. And if that still isn't right for you, then take your legs back up the wall. So this is butterfly against the wall. Now you can also play about, experiment with bringing the body closer to the wall or cupboard and taking the body away. So you find your shape and your position against the wall. So here, your feet or the sides of the feet are against the wall. And again, you can have the hands on the body or away from the body. And let's bring awareness to what the head's doing. If your eyes are looking back and your chin is jutting up at the sky, then that's not good for your neck. So lift the head very slightly, softening that chin to the throat and place the head back down. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. I've got a slippy cupboard, which means my feet aren't fully supported. So I'm going to have to use a little muscular engagement here. But hopefully your feet aren't sliding down. If they are, then see if you can find a different surface. And if there isn't anything, maybe move away from the wall and place your feet either on a stack of yoga blocks or books, or maybe a sofa, or a yoga bolster. There's always a way. And again, feeling that support of the earth supporting the back body, and the wall supporting the feet. And breathe into the back body. Expanding, giving yourself an expansion in the whole of the back body, the spine, the width of the back, expanding the shoulders. And then as you exhale, soften the entire body. Acknowledging any change in your edge. If things become too intense, then how can you change that edge, move to a more comfortable edge where you can hold? We're just going to hold for about 3 more breaths. So breathe into the back body, the whole of the back body, shoulders included. Exhale, soften. Do 2 more. And then take the hands on the outsides of the upper thighs and bring the knees together. And then here you can maybe windscreen wipe the legs over to one side and the other. Feet are hip width or wider. Or maybe you'd like to do that rocking again, circling, with the ankles, knees and hips in one direction and the other. And then from here, we're staying where we are. But again, you'll have to gauge what's right for your body, how far away you are from the wall or the cupboard. So I'm going to caterpillar back a little bit. And then bring one leg raised up. Allow that femur to slot into the socket. And then bend the knee and bring the ankle just below the opposite knee. Now you will know here if you need to move back. I need to move slightly back, because the closer you are to the wall or the cupboard, the more intense this will be. So first of all, find your shape. First principle of Yin, find your shape. And the sole of the foot is pressed against the wall or cupboard, giving you that stability. And again, the earth is supporting the back body. Now the sole of the foot of the leg that's lifted on top, you can spread through that a little if you like to protect your knee joint. So find your shape and then come to your edge. That place where you can comfortably hold. In this instance for 3 minutes. And if you need to shift your edge, if you need to come to a new edge at any point, then please do so. Check in with the sensations. Are things becoming too intense so that you're creating tension in the back body, maybe the neck, wherever you're creating tension? Please don't hold in a shape where tension is creeping in. If your body is screaming at you, saying no, then back off. Respect your body at all times. You need to be experiencing a stretch, but you don't want to experience any discomfort, pain, any sharp pain. Then please come out of this shape. And if this really is too much, you can always put the foot down on the floor, maybe on a yoga brick or what. We've got another minute and a half. See if you can let go, soften into this shape, resolving to be still, but knowing that you can move at any time. Few more breaths. And then we're going to push through the foot on the wall, or if your foot's on the floor. If your foot's on the floor, then please push through it and lift the pelvis over to the opposite side to that foot. And then we're going to twist. Now, if your foot is against the wall, your foot is going to come down the side of the body, or at the back, towards the back of the body. Now, this foot that has gone over, the sole of the foot is on the floor, but that might be too much. So you can always just bring the knee towards the floor, and you can prop here. You can prop. Get my egg timers in the way. You can prop with cushions or yoga blocks, or a bolster if you've got a bolster and your knee's quite high up, then prop your bolster underneath. Now the head can be in the same direction as this knee, or the opposite, or straight up. Same with the arms, you put them wherever is comfortable for your body. finding your shape and tuning in with how this feels for your body. Tuning in with any sensations. Finding that place where you can comfortably hold. I forgot to flip my timer over, but it's all right. I can guess. And we're here for about another 2 minutes. Notice where the breath is going in the body. The back body. And maybe you can feel an expansion across the heart center, especially if you've got your arms alongside the body in a W or a T. Because by opening up the arms, you're creating space in the chest, in the heart space. So maybe you can feel the breath as it goes up the back body and feel that expansiveness across the chest and the heart space. A couple more breaths. And then slowly, if your head's turned, bring it back to center. Bring the feet back, push through the bottom foot, and bring the pelvis back to center. And then here, I'm going to windscreen wipe my legs whilst they're on the floor. If you want to do something else, then please feel free. Something to counter or to rebound those tissues. And then I feel the need here to hug the knees in. You don't need to do this. It's just I'm following my body. My body's guiding me to do this, and I'm going to roll through my ankles too. So we're going to do that little sequence on the other side now. And it's going to come onto my side as I caterpillar up again and then make my way down. So don't forget, if putting your foot up against the wall is too much, or you've got a very slippy surface on the wall, then put the foot down instead. So we're going over to the other side. Opposite foot to before is on the wall. And then raise the other leg and allow that femur, that thigh bone, to slot into its socket. Something's irritating me now. Got the pollen. And then bend the top knee and bring the ankle just below the opposite knee. Now, if you're down on the floor, I'm going to caterpillar away again as well because it's a bit too intense. Then push through the foot, lift the pelvis, and take the pelvis onto the opposite side to the bottom foot. Oh, we're doing twist. We're doing twist. Ignore me. Sorry. Let's just stick with. Let me just stick with this first. A figure 4 first. I'm getting ahead of myself. So before we lift, we don't need to lift the pelvis yet. We're just bringing this top foot just below opposite knee. Let's see how that feels first. Check in with this neck and the head. Like I said before, if the chin's jutting up and the eyes are going back, you need to lift the head slightly, soften the chin into the throat and place the back of the head back down, keeping length in the neck. So you're finding your shape and then your edge. And as we rest into this posture, settle into this shape, you might find that your edge begins to shift. So you might have to caterpillar your bottom either further away from the wall or closer to. And if you're on the floor and you want to go as your tissues stretch, you want to go a little bit further, then maybe place something under that bottom foot, like a block or a book, bolster. And then if you want to go even further, then you can put another prop on top of that existing one. So connect with your body. For example, my edge has now changed. And as my tissues stretch, I feel I can inch my way a little bit towards the wall. But I'm going to do this slowly. I'm not going to race towards the wall because that would be too much. So at the moment, it's all about experimenting what's right for your body and really connecting with your body and those sensations. So if you need to find a new edge, do that all along the way. You don't need prompting from me. Your body will prompt you. I'm just going to be here for about another minute. If at any point this becomes too much, then please come out of it. And you can always move into Shavasana or another shape. Few more breaths. And then we're going to push through the foot. And even if you've got your foot against the wall, this works, as I'm finding. And you can take your pelvis over about an inch, that's all, in the opposite side to the foot that's on the wall or the floor. And then begin to bring the foot on top, down onto the floor. And the other foot will slide down the wall and come onto the floor, so the side of that other foot. Now, you might find this too intense. If so, allow that knee to soften down, and that might be too intense as well. So another option is to unravel the top leg and just bring both knees together in a simple twist. Don't forget, you can use props to prop if your knees floating and you want to bring it down. And you take your arms wherever they need to be. Same with the head, whichever direction that it needs to be for you. And find your edge. Feeling that support again. Let's take our awareness back to the support, this time of the earth beneath. And as the breath moves into the body, feel into that sense of expansion, that space that's been created in the body. Maybe you can feel as the back body or the side body presses into the earth on the in-breath. And with the out-breath, everything softens. See if you can consciously soften on the out-breath. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Completely surrender down, resolving to be still in this shape at your edge. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. Softening with each exhale. And then slowly, let's bring ourselves back. So we bring the legs back up, push through the bottom foot, lifting the pelvis back to that centre line. And then I'm going to caterpillar a little bit away from the wall. Feet as wide as the mat. And begin to windscreen wipe those legs. And maybe you'd like a moment here in Shavasana, if I can caterpillar, without disturbing the pole. And then, yeah, maybe a full body stretch. But if you want to do something different, please do. And just take a moment in Shavasana. To realign the spine. And then for our next shape, I'm just going to find a blanket. I'm going to put this blanket under my hip points. We're going to lay down with the feet against the wall, but we're doing a wall cobra. So I'm going to put this little blanket under my hip points because the floor's quite hard. You can also grab your bolster or a cushion if you like. I'm not going to use that big bolster because I know it's too much. Those of you who've done this yin class with me before will know I don't tend to use a big yoga bolster when I do cobra because it's not right for my body, but it might be for yours. So let's bring the body caterpillaring, if that's a word, bringing the legs against the wall or cupboard. Now, first of all, connect with how that feels. I'm just going to move this bolster. You might need to inch away a bit. So set yourself up properly first so that you are comfortable, because if you rush the setting up, what could be a nice comfortable experience and give your body a good stretch might end up being uncomfortable and you're just creating tension in the body. So it really is worthwhile taking the time to set yourself up properly. So the front of the feet are against the wall. Then I'm going to get this little bolster and put it under my ribs. If you want to use your big yoga bolster, then you just do the same thing. So in yin, cobra is typically what we call sphinx in hatha yoga. Forearms are down on the mat. And don't forget to stack your joints. So elbows under shoulders. Open your fingers, but we don't need to switch any muscles on. Well, actually that's wrong, because we might need excuse me, we might need a little muscular engagement here. It depends on your body. So you might need a little muscular engagement in the abdominals and also the glutes. So see how it is for your body. So you can be here for the wall cobra, or you might choose to walk your hands forwards and straighten the arms, but keep your elbows soft. again, not much muscular engagement, but obviously you have got some here. Or you can stack the forearms and place the head down on the forearms, which is really nice. But I will go back to doing the cobra. And then you can soften that chin into the throat again, keeping the back of the neck nice and long, so we're not doing this. Looking straight ahead, or close your eyes, soften the gaze. And then we're going to hold now for about 3 minutes. Finding your shape, finding your edge. And then resolving to be still. Those 3 yin principles. Melting your shoulder blades down your back if you're in the shape that I'm in. Or straightening the arms into what's called seal. Soften them shoulder blades down the back. And this time, take your awareness to the earth supporting the front body. And the wall supporting the fronts of the feet and maybe the fronts of the legs, depending on how close you are to the wall. And maybe when you breathe in, become aware of how the breath moves the belly and the belly presses against the earth. That expansion on the in-breath and the softening on the out. Maybe your edge shifts and you want to adjust your shape. Can you imagine breathing in earth energy through the navel and then breathing out and softening? If you're beginning to sink, if you're in a sphinx and you're finding that you're beginning to sag down, lightly push through the arms, roll them shoulders down the back, and maybe a little bit of muscular engagement around the navel. Drawing the navel very lightly into the spine, supporting that back body. Two more breaths. And then if you're already in like a crocodile, sleeping crocodile, with your arms folded, one stacked on top of each other, then stay where you are. Otherwise, stack your forearms on top of each other and bring your forehead down onto your forearms. Let's just take a moment here and remove any props. And then from here, we're going to do cobra meets half frog. So we bend one knee and props. And keep the other leg, or the lower leg and the foot against the wall. See how this shape is for your body first. And again, maybe you need to move the knee further away from the body. If you can bring it to hip height, that's fine. But if you can't, that's also fine. And you might need something to prop your knee. Put a blanket or a cushion underneath. And then again, we're going to stack the forearms and bring the forehead down to the forearms. And we'll just be here for 2 minutes. If this is too intense, then come back with both legs up the wall into your cobra. You can actually do a full frog, but I'm not going to demonstrate full frog. Just getting a blanket to put underneath. Full frog is very intense for me. I think it's intense for a lot of people. And it's, you make this same shape that we're making with this leg. Well, you do that with both legs at the same time. So if you're feeling how intense this can be, then imagine that with both legs at the same time. Now, if the shape is becoming too intense for you, can you back off a little from your edge? Can you find an edge, I should say, because if your body's screaming at you, that's not your edge. You need to back away and find your edge. Softening. When you've found your edge, soften with every exhale. And see if you can surrender. Be aware as well here not to twist the spine, because there is a tendency for us to twist a little bit. So my left leg is bent. It might actually be mirrored on Zoom. But my opposite hip to this leg that I've got bent is wanting to push down so that I'm twisting. So I'm consciously laying on my front with both hip points down on the mat. This action of lifting this leg might be lifting your hip point. And that's natural, that's fine. It is actually lifted on that side, mine. I thought it was down. But just be conscious not to twist, not to put too much weight on the opposite hip point. But try to evenly distribute so you're not twisting. And then we're slowly going to come out of this. We actually did 3 minutes then, not 2. By taking both feet up and then rotate through the knees and ankles in one direction and then the other. And then we're going to do half frog on the other side. So again, if like me, you want to pad your knee, then grab a blanket or a cushion. Bend your leg, and your other leg is up against the wall. Finding your shape, and then to balance it out, we will have to do 3 minutes on this side. But please remember, at any point, if it becomes too intense for you, either back off or come out of it altogether. You should be tuning in with your body all along, every step of the way, listening to sensations. And it's good to have sensations. We need those. We need to have a stretch. But if it becomes too much that it's causing discomfort, or especially if it's causing pain or any burning or electrical sensation, then you need to come out of it. So find your shape and your edge. Being aware to not twist over or not put weight on one side, more on one side than the other. It is inevitable, really, because you've bent this leg up. And also, be aware not to place a thick cushion or a block under your knee that's lifted, the bent knee. The one at the side of you, because both knees are bent, but the knee at the side of you in the frog shape. Because the higher that knee is, the more that side will lift, so that hip point will be higher. So do try to keep it down on the mat or floor, but feel free to proper it under the knee if the floor's hard. Resolving to be still. Taking your awareness to any sensations, the more subtle sensations, surrendering the front body down to the earth beneath, feeling fully supported. The earth is fully supporting the bent leg that's in a frog leg shape, and the other leg in front of the foot is being supported by the wall. The body is fully supported. So see if you can soften, surrendering down. Just 2 more breaths. And then slowly bring both the other leg back and begin to rotate wrists through ankles and knees, one direction and the other. And then we're going to roll over onto one side. And let's rotate again, let's circle through the hips, knees, ankles. And then we're going to finish, well, we'll finish after this, but we're going to do a forward fold or caterpillar, as it's known in Yin, with the back against the wall. And I'll just shift myself over here. Now you might like to sit on a cushion or a yoga block for this. Also, you might like, especially if you've got you get dizzy bending forwards, use a yoga block, yoga bolster. Right, so the first thing we need to do is shimmy right up against the wall so that the back of the pelvis and the back body, the back is on the wall. Now these knees can have a little bend because we are doing yin after all, and you can pop a little bolster or cushion, so roll blankets under those knees if you like. You can straighten the legs, that is an option, but just be aware that when you straighten your legs, you need to keep a little bend. Don't lock these knees in. And then we're going to first of all lengthen through the spine, so hands come down either side of the body, lengthening the spine. And then we begin to walk the hands forwards, rounding through the back, and then coming into your caterpillar. So this is one option, or put something underneath, or sort of feet down on the mat and arms up behind thighs and melt down. Or you can use your bolster, placing the forehead on the bolster. You choose whichever option is right for you today. And we're going to be here for a couple of minutes. Surrendering down, bringing the heart towards the earth. Moving within. Forward folds help us to move within. Notice the sensations, where are they? Maybe hamstrings, backs of legs, or maybe your low back. But are them sensations too much? Or maybe you can go a little deeper. Has your edge changed? If so, adjust accordingly. Couple more breaths. And then to come out of this shape, bring the hands onto the mat and walk the body back up. And then maybe you'd like to windscreen wipe, or maybe reverse table. Please be aware of the neck, don't drop the head too far back, and then come back. And then you can either move straight into your Shavasana, or maybe legs up the wall, just like we started. So whichever shape you choose, grab any props you need. And if you intend finishing your practice here, then maybe turn me off now. Switch off the video and enjoy your Shavasana, whatever form that takes. And I think I will finish this video anyway here. This is quite nice. And I think we've done quite a restful. I know Yin's restful anyway, but I think it's particularly restful, this session. You might not find it particularly restful, but I've certainly found it particularly restful. So I think I will finish this week in Shavasana, or legs up the wall, whichever you chose. So I'll allow you to let go completely now, bringing your awareness back to the floor, to the earth beneath, supporting the back body. And if your legs are up the wall, then the wall supporting the legs, the feet. And just bring your hands together, palms together, and bring those palms to the heart center. Gently pressing the thumbs onto the heart. And there I will leave you this week. Until next time, namaste. Release the arms, put them in a comfortable position, and rest.